words of Sri Aurobindo from the book The Mother, from the collective works of Sri Aurobindo, volume 32, page 460, topic Relation between the mother and her children, subtopic The right way of loving the mother. In this, Sri Aurobindo says, the contact between mother and child means not only that the mother should love the child, but the child should love the mother and obey her. You want to be the true child of the mother, but the first thing for that is to put yourself into her hands and let her guide you and to follow her will and not disregard it or revolt against her. You know all this perfectly well, right? Why do you ignore it? Sri Aurobindo says it is part of the true mother's love not to do whatever the vital of the child demands, for she knows that it would be extremely bad for him. Do not obey the impulse of the vital, but follow rather your true perception and make yourself a channel for the will of the mother, because her will is always that you should grow into your true being. Sri Aurobindo says the love which is turned towards the divine ought not to be the usual vital feeling which men call by that name, for that is not love, but only a vital desire, an instinct of appropriation, the impulse to possess and monopolize. Not only is this not the divine love, but it ought not to be allowed to mix in the least degree in the yoga. The true love for the divine, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo, the true love for the divine is a self-giving, free of demand, full of submission and surrender. It makes no claim, imposes no condition, strikes no bargain, indulges in no violence of jealousy or pride or anger, for these things are not in its composition. Let me repeat this. The true love for the divine is a self-giving, free of demand, full of submission and surrender. It makes no claim, imposes no condition, strikes no bargain, indulges in no violence of jealousy or pride or anger, for these things are not in its composition. Sri Aurobindo says, in return, the Divine Mother also gives herself, but freely, and this represents itself in an inner giving. Her presence in your mind, your vital, your physical consciousness, her power recreating you in the divine nature, taking up all the moments of your being and directing them towards perfection and fulfillment. Her love enveloping you and carrying you in its arms Godwards. Let me repeat this again. In return, the Divine Mother also gives herself, but freely, and this represents itself in an inner giving. Her presence in your mind, your vital, your physical consciousness, her power recreating you in the divine nature, taking up all the moments of your being and directing them towards perfection and fulfillment. Her love enveloping you and carrying you in its arms Godwards. It is this that you must aspire to feel and possess in all parts of your body, in all your parts down to the very material, and here there is no limitation either of time or of completeness. If one truly aspires and gets it, there ought to be no room for any other claim or for any disappointed desire. If one truly aspires, one does unfailingly get it. More and more are the purification proceeds and the nature undergoes its needed change. Sri Aurobindo says, keep your love pure of all selfish claim and desire. You will find that you are getting all the love that you can bear and absorb in answer. Realize also that the realization must come first, the work to be done. not the satisfaction of calm and desire. It is only when the divine consciousness, in its supramental light and power, has descended and transformed the physical that other things can be given a prominent place. And then, too, it will not be the satisfaction of desire, but the fulfillment of the divine truth in each and all, and in the new life that is to express it. In the divine life, all is for the sake of the divine, not for the sake of the ego. Sri Aurobindo says, I should perhaps add one or two things to avoid misapprehensions. First, the love for the divine of which I speak is not a psychic love only. It is the love of all the being, the vital physical included. All are capable of the same self-giving. It is a mistake to believe that if the vital loves, it must be a love that demands and imposes the satisfaction of its desire. It is a mistake to think that it must be either that or else the vital, in order to escape from its attachments, must draw away altogether from the object of its love. The vital can be as absolute in its unquestioning self-giving as any other part of the nature. Nothing can be more generous than its moment when it forgets self for the beloved. The vital and physical should both give themselves in the true way, the way of true love, not of the ego desire. 1st August 1931. Sri Aurobindo continues to say, what I want of you is not to love the mother from a distance, but to become accustomed to feel her presence, her help, the working of her forces, even when she is not physically present, and this not only in your sleep or inward drawn condition, which seems to be sufficiently easy for you, but in your waking consciousness, whether in meditation or in ordinary hours. And this I want because it would give a great push to your yoga. It would besides give a deeper meaning and power to your physical contact with her. I am sure that all this will come fully in time. 22nd November 1931. Question. I have been here for more than 1.5 years, but I know nothing of the sadhana. I meditate, but nothing happens in the meditation. I feel there is no love in me towards the mother. What shall I do to feel this love? For the Sri Aurobindo says, become truthful, pure, sincere, straightforward. Date 1st July 1935. Question. Parts of my being are insisting on a physical expression of the mother's love. Although at present there is no attack or depression, there is only dryness and dullness. Even if the sadhana returns and I get very high or deep experiences, they will be worth little so long as my love for the mother does not return. For the Sri Aurobindo says it is a mistake to think like that. The experience prepares the different parts of the being for loving in the right way, so that it is not the soul alone that loves. So long as they are open to ignorance and ego, they cannot receive and hold the love rightly. Sri Aurobindo says both the love of the mother, which you feel so strongly, and the other tendency of harmony and affection with those with whom you live or work come from the psychic being. When the psychic intensifies its influence, this love for the mother becomes strong and is the main mover of the nature. But there is also a feeling of goodwill, harmony, kindness or affection towards others which also comes up and is not so much personal as the result of the soul's inmost relation to all souls who are children of the mother. There is no harm in this psychic feeling. On the contrary, it creates happiness and harmony. It is only the vital love between persons that has to be rejected, because it draws away from full consecration to the divine. But this helps the growth of the soul into the mother's consciousness and helps the work and helps also the inner life to grow. 10th Feb 1936. Receiving what the mother gives. Question: the mother gives whatever is necessary for each one. She does not withhold what one requires and is capable of receiving. It is we who are not ready to receive what she gives. Says the sadhak. For this, our Lord says, yes, mother is always willing to give, and nothing pleases her better than to see her children receiving what she has to give. These are the words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo.